Convicted killer Robert Yates is making another plea to save his life. He filed a motion this week in federal court saying that his attorney did not adequately represent him. KXLY4's Melissa Luck is here with what Yates says, why he says he doesn't deserve to die.
Canadian Robert Yates killed 18 people, including 13 women here in Spokane in the 1980s and 90s. He was spared the death penalty here, but sentenced to death for crimes in Pierce County. As that execution date draws closer, Yates is throwing out everything he can in an appeal to spend life in prison instead. Yates was sentenced to death in 2007, has been waiting on Washington death row in Walla Walla ever since. The state Supreme Court put his execution on hold pending appeals, but one of those appeals was denied earlier this month. So this week, Yates appealed to federal courts with motions filed in Western Washington. In those motions, Yates contends that he suffers from brain damage and a mental disorder, essentially that he can't control his sexual deviancy. He says his attorneys didn't adequately present that information to the courts. Yates also says his attorney didn't present evidence about how loving and caring he is, specifically his loving relationship with his family. Yates also says he should be spared because of his cooperation with law enforcement here in Spokane, and that he provided comfort to one of his victims' families. In that, he's referring to the fact that he disclosed to police that missing woman Melody Murfin was actually buried in his backyard on the South Hill. He believes that sign of cooperation and compassion should be used as evidence in the effort to keep him in prison for life instead of being executed. As this is considered, a federal judge has issued a stay of execution for Yates until September 10th. If his attorneys file a formal writ of habeas corpus by then, the stay will be intact until that issue is resolved. If not, this convicted killer moves a step closer to the execution chamber. I'm Melissa Luck, KXLY4 HD News.